Mark the Stampede here. I'm going to be it's going to come something a little bit different today. I'm going to be ranking all the seasons of The Big Bang Theory in tier list. So, sick for a while. So I couldn't do anything. I couldn't really play video games, really watch movies. I could just really watch TV. So I rewatched all the Big Bang Theory. So I'm going to rank every season of The Big Bang Theory. And honestly, I'm gonna look at on the IMDb lowest rated and highest rated episode for each season, and then sort of talk about my I don't know get a little into my thoughts of each season maybe. I don't hopefully I won't need to go to Wikipedia for the season summary, but we'll see. Okay, let's start on season one. So for season one, the I'm not gonna include the unaired pilot here. Let's see. The lowest rated one is going to be uh, okay. Looks like 7.8 is the lowest rated one. Just double check real quick. No, actually 7.6. Okay, so the Fuzzy Boots corollary. Leonard gets upset when he discovers that Penny is seeing another new guy, so he tries to trick her into going on a date with him. Don't really remember that one much. That sounds like one of the early episodes. I mean, not memorable at all, so I understand why it's the lowest rated. And the highest rated one in the first season, I think it's gonna be 8. Okay, it looks like there's okay. Actually, it looks like the very last. The season finale looks like the highest rated one. Um, Highest rated one, the Tangerine Factor. After a bad breakup, Penny finally agrees to go out on a date with Leonard. However, they both develop doubts and turn to Sheldon for advice. So yeah, that I think it's definitely the best. I don't know the best, the funniest, but that's the first time. That's the advancement of the Leonard and Penny plot. Advancement of Sheldon and Penny's relationship as friends. And I think it's the first time you see like a lot of the jokes about Leonard being on a date is with Penny. But I think overall, there's a lot of them trying to find the characters in this first season. So they were no show. Maybe The Good Place. Maybe the only show like where characters are like are solid right away. So I'm gonna give this probably a C. Good season overall, but not great. Like I said, a lot of showing the it's getting the foundation of all the characters there, right? Let's go to season two here. Just double. Okay. Whoops. Open up the wrong thing here. Okay, so let's look at this. 8.2, 8.7. Ooh, 8.7. That's pretty high. A lot more eights in this season. 9.1. Definitely the highest rated one. So that I've seen so far. Okay, so it looks like 7.9 is the lowest rated one for this season. So let's read the 7.9 one is 7.7. The Vardabian conundrum. Leonard tries to slow down his relationship with Stephanie when he realizes that they're living together, while Sheldon becomes convinced that he has an untraceable disease. So this was right in the middle of when Sarah Rue was a guest star as Stephanie, the doctor, an actual medical doctor that Leonard was seeing. And this was just kind of a weird part where I really like Sarah Rue as an actress, but I think she's very charming and cute. But they like they were the whole thing was those kid Leonard and Stephanie kept breaking up, but then they just dropped it and they never explained if they broke up or not. It was just kind of disappeared. I think Sarah Rue must have had got another job, so or they just didn't feel like they just want to get back to the Leonard and Penny relationship. So I understand why that is the lowest rated one. Just kind of baffling. And then the highest rated one is going to be. I think I saw one of those over 9. So, okay, there's actually 2 over 9. One is the gift hypothesis, which is one Penny gives the Christmas gift to Sheldon of the um, Spock napkin, which is probably one of the most memorable of the Christmas episodes. I would say. Um, let's see what else is in here. I'm trying to find the 9.1. I don't want to get bogged down in looking at every single episode. Wait, is that 9.1? That might actually be the highest one. Actually, yeah, okay. So unless I'm finding something that's higher than 9.1. Okay, yeah, that's the highest one. The bath item gift hypothesis. That the Like I said, just a solid overall Christmas episode, probably the most memorable one that I can think of. And I really think they really had gotten the five main characters here down. So definitely more solid. Not exactly. I think this is where we introduced Stuart, season 2, but let's say that's a solid B for season 2 rather. Let's go to season 3. Okay, let's see what we got. We have lowest looks like 7.8, right up the 7.4. Looks like we're getting a little bit 7.8. A lot more sevens in season 3. So 7.4 is probably the lowest. Let's see a 9. That's probably the highest. Okay, 7.4, the Cornhusker Vortex. Leonard tries to learn about football to fit in with Penny's friends. Meanwhile, a lost in a kite war threatens to end Howard and Rodge's friendship. I think I can see why this is the lowest rated one, where Leonard's trying to learn football and just being super awkward. I mean, it makes sense for the character, but there's a bunch of friends that Penny has that are supposedly all from Nebraska in LA or Pasadena rather, which makes little sense. And you never see any of them again. Although I guess you can assume there's a team involved she's throwing all these parties for in the first few seasons. And there's a lot of stuff about kite flying that is never really brought up again. I mean, I think they may mention a couple more times, but it seems like they were like really into kites in this one episode. So I get it. And the highest one in this season was one. Let's see. Sorry. The staircase implementation. Leonard tells Penny about how he and Sheldon become roommates and what happened to the elevator. Yeah, I mean, a good flashback episode where they set up all the characters is always fun. So I understand why that's and this was, I think, a good one. It really explains how the elevator got broken and how Leonard became roommates with Sheldon and how Howard and Raj became friends with both Sheldon and Leonard. So I think and it was also funny. So I think that was one of the better one of those flashback episodes of TV. So I would say, I think the problem is the rest of the season is a lot. I don't know. Isn't quite as strong. I'm gonna put it as I think a C, but above season 1. Just that one episode is really strong. Let's go to season 4. Okay, this one, not as many. I see a 7.7, a 7.6, two 7.6s, a lot of things in the 7s, though I think these ones are more fun. Alright. So there's two 7.6s this season. Alright, let's go with. So the alien parasite hypothesis. Amy finds she has sexual feelings for Penny's ex-boyfriend Zach, while Raj and Howard try to prove who would be the better superhero. The stuff with Zach and Amy was actually pretty funny in that episode. I think Amy was introduced the season finale of season 3, right? And the like all the superhero things contests that Raj and Howard are actually pretty funny. So I don't know why that one's rated so low. I think it's a pretty decent one. The bus pants utilization, the other one rated 7.6. Leonard has an idea for a new smartphone app and asks the guys for help. However, Sheldon tries to take over the project and Leonard fires him. This is another good one where we're seeing a lot of like Sheldon's personality, but just not able to take to not be in charge. And I think that's also another really good episode. I don't know why these are rated so low. I guess I like these episodes better than people on IMDb. All right, let's try to find the highest rated episode. And I really feel like the characters by this point are really starting to like form as their actual characters. Okay. The Justice League recombination, the guys enter a costume contest as members of the Justice League and convince Penny and Zach to join them. Yeah, again, I think this was a funny episode where they all dress up as Justice League to go in the Halloween contest at Stewart's comic book shop, and they convince Penny and Zach. I think this is they're starting to show a little more of the guys being nicer to Zach and not being quite as mean. So I think, though, most of the episode where they're being too much first, but a funny episode. And like I said, I think that season 4 is, I think it's a little bit underrated. I would put it above season 2 actually in B. I don't know why it's so. I don't know why it's so poorly rated. Okay, next season 5. Let's look. I'm saying the same thing over and over again. Let's see what we got. 7.5. Oh, there's a 7.3. Ooh. A couple more sevens than you would expect in season 5. So 7.3 looks like it's definitely the lowest. Leonard, the Speckerman recurrence. Leonard confronts the man who bullied him in high school, while Penny realized she did have her fair share of tormenting in the past. This is a good episode. I like this episode where Leonard finds confronts his bully, and at first the bully's asking Leonard for some help with some tech stuff, I believe. And then they go and get drunk together. But then the next day, the bully wakes up and starts bullying Leonard again. And then this is the first time that I think the first time when Penny's talking to other people, and she realized that she was being the bully to the nerds in high school. I don't know. I maybe this reason is rated so low is because Leonard's bully is played by the person who eventually played Sheldon's dad in Young Sheldon, and I think he also plays the bartender later. He's been in the Big Bang Theory universe, and that's 3 separate characters. So maybe that's what's right. It's a good episode. Let's see the highest rated episode of this season. But I also think this is the season where we're starting to get more full characters out of Amy and Bernadette as well. So 8.5. There's a couple 8.5s. Let me see if there's anything higher than 8.5 here. Not seeing anything. There's 3 8.5s. There's going to be a 3-way tie for best. Alright. Nothing higher than that's weird that there's 3.5. I guess we'll just read all 3 8.5s. Okay, let's see. The first 8.5 is going to be the good guy fluctuation. Sheldon tries to get into the spirit of Halloween by trying to scare the guys after they prank him. Leonard seeks Penny's advice when an attractive comic book artist takes interest in him. So yeah, I think this was the first of like the prank war ones, which is always funny, and this is where there's a comic book artist who looks very much like I think some video game journalist. I can't remember, but not her. And then when he's trying to think of whether he should break up with Priya or not, one of the better. I think definitely a good episode. And Leonard keeps trying to say he's a good guy even when he's not being a good guy. But I think you're seeing more depth to Leonard's character, and they're trying to show like Penny and Leonard as like friends. So I like that episode. Let's see what else we got here. 8 point. What? 8. I saw the Hawking excitation. Sheldon uses any and all means to meet his hero, Dr. Stephen Hawking. This is where Howard puts Sheldon through a bunch of different tasks to try to that he has to complete before he'll introduce him to Stephen Hawking. I think that's probably most memorable episodes of the series. So I'm surprised that this was the highest rated. It's just flat out the highest rated. A lot of funny stuff in that episode. And then the countdown reflection, 8.5, as Howard prepares for his mission into space. Flashbacks show the recent events leading up to his and Bernadette's wedding. So yeah, this is the one with him and Bernadette's wedding, and then you see everyone on the couch at the end, I believe, just getting ready for the Howard blasting off into space. All in all, this is a really solid season. I'm gonna say this is an maybe even. I think maybe this is the first S. This is probably this is one of the better seasons. I mean, there is the stuff with I think maybe the stuff with, and then there's stuff with Priya and Penny being jealous of each other. There's stuff with the first Emily, with Raj dating her, and maybe that stuff isn't quite as strong. So maybe we'll leave that in there. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna right off the bat. Season 6. I loved every episode. Every episode is great. It's great versions of the characters. That's definitely an S. Probably I'm hard to see this not being the best, the highest rated one. I mean, on Reddit, there's a lot of low ratings, but I think every episode in this season is a banger. Let's 7.6. The lowest one I'm rated. There's more than one 7.6 so far. I don't understand why these are all rated so low. This is all right. The first 7.6. Raj crashes Sheldon and Amy's second anniversary, interferes in Leonard and Penny's relationship. Howard gets caught in the middle of an argument between Bernadette and his mother. I don't remember much of the Bernadette and his. Oh, okay. So I think this is where Raj keeps going to people, just interrupting people because he's lonely, and people just keep getting angry at him. This was one of the first one of those. It was before you kind of get tired of that. It's just before that got kind of old, and then this is where Bernadette wants Howard to move into her apartment, and Howard's mom doesn't want him to move out, so they're constantly just fighting, and it's hard to describe, but it is funny back and forth between Howard and his mom and Howard and Bernadette, and the way everyone's guilting Howard. So a good episode overall. Okay, the decoupling fluctuation in the next 7.6, actually the next episode. Penny continues to have doubts about her relationship with Leonard. Meanwhile, Howard becomes a target of practical jokes on the space station. I think this is the one where it's mostly Howard in space the longest, and it's a lot of just practical jokes, which were funny. So don't remember much about Penny and Leonard. Just there. I think I don't know if this is when she started going to community college. But okay, and then I guess there's one more 7.6, the habitation configuration. Howard makes a decision whether or not to move out of his mother's house, while Sheldon is caught in the middle of an argument between Amy and Will Wheaton. Okay, again, why is this rated so low? This is so maybe this is, I don't know if it's continuation of maybe that this is where whether he's moving in or out was started, but I thought it was at the beginning of the season, but I don't remember. But this is where Will Wheaton goes on fun with flags, and him and Amy keep arguing, and then Sheldon has to go pick a fight with Will Wheaton to stand up for her honor. This is like a really good episode, one of the better Will Wheaton ones. I'm not sure why it's rated so low. Okay, let's see what the highest rated one in this season is. There's another 7.6. This is crazy. The Monster Isolation. Raj falls apart after his date sneaks out on him, and Sheldon reluctantly returns the favor after Penny helps him with his Fun with Flags program. Okay, I don't remember this episode, so I guess this is why this one is 7.6. But I don't, like I said, I just rewatched the entire series. I was laughing at all of it and really enjoying every episode of season 6. I think this is the one where Raj is where Raj had been dating the Kate Micucci character who had very even worse social anxiety than he does, and she ended up just leaving in the middle of a date. I don't really remember the part about the fun with flags, but anyway, let's try to find the highest rated. The highest rated is anything higher than 8.1? It's like 8.2 might be the highest one. No, 8.4. Okay, there's two 8.4s. There's three 8.4s. Okay. Okay, let's go over the 8.4 episodes then. We're getting a lot. There's so many ties in this one. That's odd. Okay, it's a 43 peculiarity. I can't say it. Leonard feels threatened after hearing about Penny's study partner at school, while Howard and Raj become determined to find out one of Sheldon's secrets. So I think I don't. The whole thing with just Leonard just gets jealous of Penny having, I guess, like a hot study partner. That wasn't the main plot. The whole thing, the main part. Then this was like definitely one of the funnier things is where they find Howard and Raj find out that Sheldon goes somewhere for 20 minutes every day. That's not on his schedule that everybody has, and they try to figure out what it is, and they can't figure it out. And he does all these practical joke. He does practical joke on it where it looks like he's being abducted by aliens from another dimension. Sounds funnier than I'm describing. It is funnier than I'm describing, rather. But it's actually, he's just hacky sacking. That's a very good one. The egg salad equivalency. When Penny finds out Alex has a crush on Leonard, Sheldon gets himself and the rest of the guys in trouble with human resources while trying to solve the problem. So this is when Sheldon briefly had a assistant, and she had a crush on Leonard, and then was constantly trying to like kind of hit on Leonard, and then Sheldon has some obviously makes it worse when he tries to like correct her at work. It is just ends up being very misogynistic kind of by accident, because he's just quoting his father. So a very funny episode. Everyone has to go to HR. Yeah, I understand why this is one of the higher rated ones. And then the Bakerfield expedition, the guys are stranded in the middle of nowhere when Leonard's car is stolen on the way to the Bakersfield Comic-Con. Back home, the girls try to figure out why the guys are so fascinated with comic books. This is another one that's, I think, when you think like of like the high, like the most memorable episodes of Big Bang Theory. This is where they're dressed as Star Trek characters. The car gets stolen, and all their money's in the car, so they have to go and like call their wives and girlfriends. So, and then while they're away, the girls are trying to figure out why they like it, and they end up having a huge conversation about who's worthy enough to take to hold Thor's to lift Thor's hammer. It's just one of the. I think it just shows a lot of the. Again, showing more depth to the female characters, and just a funny sort of situation for the male character. So I like I said, on one of the more memorable episodes of the series. Right, but yeah, definitely season 6, definitely my top one. All right, let's look at season 7. Okay, there's an 8.7 right out the gate. A couple of 7. Okay, it looks like 7.5 is going to be the lowest rated. And I'm not seeing anything. Oh wait, there's a 7.4. Oh, there's two 7.4s. Wow. Okay. Let's look at these two 7.4s real quick. The friendship turbulence. So, after arguing with Sheldon, Howard tries to make amends by taking him to the NASA headquarters in Houston. Penny has second thoughts about quitting her waitressing job when her car dies. Amy gets involved in trying to find Raj a date. Okay, yeah. So Howard and Sheldon have been arguing the whole series, and then Howard decides he's gonna take him to NASA. That's like a funny setup. I guess why this is rated so low is it's a really funny setup to have Howard and Sheldon go to NASA and to have I think they were having a car ride, but then they never show much of it. It doesn't. They kind of have the setup for it, and then they mention it later on in later episodes. But it's like it seems like there's a lot of opportunity that they missed there. Penny has second thoughts about waitressing job. So that's when I think this is where this starts sort of like the the marriage subplot with, well, not start, but this kind of continues the marriage subplot of Penny and not Sheldon, Leonard. I don't remember anything about Amy finding Raj a date, so I understand why this one is rated lowly. The mommy observation: when Sheldon visits his mother in Houston, he is forced to confront a new reality. Back in Pasadena, the rest of the gang reluctantly takes part in Raj's murder mystery party. This is one where Sheldon finds out his mom is dating somebody new, and then everybody just hates Raj's murder mysteries. I don't really remember much of it except that nobody really liked it. And this is another thing where we're getting to the point where I don't know, where like the whole point is Sheldon acts like a kid, but it's like this episode it's like he's like really acting like a little kid. It's very odd. And then I guess we're getting past, like, after the first few seasons, when when they're refusing to sort of say if Sheldon's on the spectrum, if he has ADHD, or if he just has OCD, if he just needs therapy because he was he was the youngest person at everything for most of his life. It's like, it seems odd that with somebody who was such a hypochondriac, that they established it would not try to figure that out for himself. So it's weird, like, regression. I don't know. I understand. Okay, so let's try to find the best episode for this season. But I think this season is definitely a step down from the high of season 6, which I don't think anything's going to beat here. Okay, there's an 8.7. I think that's the 8.7 is going to win it. Yeah, I think the 8.7. Oh, there's 8.8. Okay. The Thanksgiving decoupling. The gang spends Thanksgiving at Mrs. Wolowitz's house. Howard tries to bond with his father-in-law, and a mistake from Penny's past comes back to haunt her. I think this is obviously the highlight of this season. This is they go to Thanksgiving at Howard's, and Howard's trying to bond with his father-in-law, but because Sheldon knows so much about football from growing up in Texas, he ends up bonding with Sheldon instead. And Penny and Zach find out that they've been married, so then Zach gets invited over, and then they have to sign the annulment papers. So yeah, that's definitely a high, but I'm gonna put this is down. Season 7 really I feels like a really big fall from season 6. I would also say it's less than season 5. I'm gonna put it between season 2 and season 4. So let's go to season 8. Wow, so many 7s in this season. Oh wow, people did not like season 8, huh? Oh my goodness. There's like, okay. So many things, there's a 7.0. Wow, is that the worst rated one of all except for like the unaired pilot? Actually, there's two 7.0s. The first pitch efficiency. Howard becomes nervous after NASA asks him to throw out the first pitch at a Los Angeles Angels game. Meanwhile, Leonard and Penny try to prove Sheldon wrong when he says that he and Amy have a superior relationship. I don't know why this is rated so low. This is a really funny one where Howard makes a drone to do the first pitch, and it takes forever, and everyone is booing him. And then Leonard, Penny, and Amy and Sheldon are fighting over who has the superior relationship. I think they even do a couple quizzes against each other. So this is a funny episode. I don't know why it's rated. That's weird that it's rated so lowly. I don't get it. Then there's another 7.0. Okay, the communication deterioration. When Raj is asked to create a message on the off chance a NASA mission discovers alien life, the guys fight over what he should do. Penny contemplates returning to acting. So this wasn't that memorable of a one. He has to come up with a thing, and they all start fighting each other. Um, Howard and Sheldon try to take over, so then he ends up just doing it with trying to do it with Leonard, and then him and Leonard are such people pleasers they can't decide what to do, so they end up actually having Howard and Sheldon come in and help them. It's okay. There's some funny stuff with just them not being able to being so indecisive. Then I think this is also the podcast. This might be the episode where they're Leonard and Penny are on Will Wheaton's podcast and talking to Kevin Smith. So yeah, you know what? Another thing about this was a good episode. Again, another good episode. I don't know why it's so low. Let's see what the highest rated episode of it. This is a very lowly rated season, but I think it's a lot more. I don't know. Okay, so there's a couple 8.0s. All right, let's go through the 8.0s real quick. There is the prom equivalency. I mean, obviously that's when they recreate a prom. The girls decide to reenact the high school prom with the guys, while Sheldon feels under pressure to commit to his relationship with Amy. Howard worries about who Stewart will bring as his date. Yeah, so this is a lot. This is mostly about Amy and Sheldon's relationship, as because they're doing like a high school prom because most of them missed it. So it's about kind of like how physical they want to be. And then there's all these jokes about Stewart bringing Howard's cousin, who he lost his virginity with, to the prom, and that's probably the funniest part of the episode. Obviously, it's an important episode for the Shamey relationship, but not that funny of an episode. I'm not, no, okay. And then 8.0, the troll manifestation. Leonard and Sheldon defend themselves against criticism from an online bully, while the girls confront embarrassing moments from their past. Okay, so this is when Leonard and Sheldon write a paper, and Tony starts trolling them, and it ends up being Stephen Hawking. So that was pretty funny. I don't remember the part about the girls find I don't remember what they found on. They watched Penny's serial apist movie. Then they see Bernadette as a beauty pageant for Miss Quiznos California, and Amy's fan fiction of House on the Prairie, which is clearly about her and Sheldon. So yeah, another funny episode, one of the better ones. Okay, and the comic book store regeneration. Howard receives some shocking news as everyone prepares for the opening of the comic book store. Meanwhile, Penny tries to teach Sheldon how to let it go, but he can't follow her own advice when she learns something infuriating about Amy. So this is the episode where they're reopening the store, the comic book store, and you find out that Howard's mom passed away, and it's because the voice actress passed away in the real life. And this was, I think, in terms of like emotional moments, I think this is probably the highlight of the whole show. So it was like a very touching moment for just them talking about how much Howard's mom meant to everybody. So I'm surprised that's not way higher. Though I mean, I guess it is a little bit of a tearjerker. Yeah, I don't know why this season 8 was a very solid season. I'm gonna put that as an S right after season 6. I don't get why people have it rated so low. I mean, it has Penny's terrible haircut. Maybe that's why. Terrible haircut. Season 9. Whoa. Starts off with a 6.8. Ooh. Oof. There's a 9. Hard to get past that 9.0. Okay. Interesting. Some wild swings on IMDb on season 9. 6.8. The maternal momentum. Penny struggles with Leonard's confession that he kissed another woman as they prepare to get married in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, Sheldon doesn't know what to do after Amy pushes pause on their relationship. So I think this is probably rated very low because it's one of the most uncomfortable episodes, because it's really a lot about because Leonard kissed a girl when he was on the Arctic ship on that expedition. so while he was technically in a long distance relationship with Penny, and he brings it up on their wedding day, so they end up having a huge fight. So I understand that people, it's uncomfortable, but it's also, I think, one of the better um, dramatic moments between Leonard and Penny. So uh, I guess it's rated low because people didn't like it, but it was like felt real. So I thought it was a good episode. Let's see, and then the 9.0, the opening of excitation. Leonard, Howard, and Raj have to decide who will take their extra Star Wars movie ticket, while Sheldon plans something special for Amy's birthday. All right, so this is the episode where they all go see. What is it? The first of the new Star Wars, and Will Wheaton goes with them dressed in a Star Trek outfit, Star Trek uniform. Sorry, and then but Sheldon has to skip it because it's on Amy's birthday. That's when they start doing their birthday, birthday coitus as they call it. Yeah. So this was. I mean, that's some funny moment. I guess this because of how big this an episode this is in terms of the Sheldon and Amy relationship. I guess that's why it's rated the highest. But I don't remember it being that much. I don't remember it being much more hilarious than the other ones. So I yeah. So I understand why this is starting to get down farther. Um, this this is definitely a weaker season. It feels like they're starting to run. I mean, the whole thing is you have people. Will they get married? Or will they get not? Will they not get married? And there's still drama between Leonard and Penny. After they get married, there's still other things that are fun that are happen, but it feels like a lot of and then they start to focus more on the Sheldon and Amy relationship. But then I also feel like this is where they start doing a lot of stuff with Raj, and by the end of the series, Raj just kind of gets annoying of just like constantly moping. So I think this is where it starts kind of going downhill. Though I think it does I think the last couple seasons do really pick it back up. So I'm gonna. Oh man, I can't believe I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this as a D. This is the worst season of them so far. Just after the highs of season 6 and season 8, it was kind of pretty disappointing. All right, let's go to season 10. Again, a lot of 7s. I think people are starting to get kind of fatigued. Oh, okay, another 6.9. That's probably the lowest one. Be it surprise. Oh my gosh, there's two things in the below 7. All right, let's do 6.7, the lowest rated one. The cognition regeneration. Leonard is less than thrilled when Penny considers accepting a job offer from her ex-boyfriend Zach. Sheldon worries that he hasn't reached his full potential soon enough. I don't get this. This is a funny episode. This is where Penny, they're out, and Penny and Zach have a meet, and he offers her a job, and then Leonard is agonizing over whether or not he doesn't want her to take it, and then he ends up calling her, and then it ends up being that Zach's wife thinks that it's stupid that she offered him a job, that he offered her a job. And then this is one of the many times when Sheldon has sort of a breakdown and tries to do, and is trying to like do all this stuff to make his reach his potential faster. I like that episode. I don't know why it's rated so lowly. So let's see. Is there anything rated 8 or above here? Probably not. So it looks like 7.7, 7.9. Okay, there is 181. So let's look at that. Surprised at how low everything is. But 8.5, the long distance dissonance. The game becomes concerned when Sheldon's former admirer Ramona Nowitzki resurfaces while Amy is away at Princeton. So, the other member of Garfunkel and Oates played Ramona, and so she is trying to hit on. I don't know if she I think she is trying to hit on Sheldon again. And then when Sheldon realizes that, he then goes to propose to Amy. So, and then it's a good episode. I I understand, and again, really moving forward the Sheldon and Amy plot. So I think that's why it's rated so highly. But I think this is a, I don't know why this is such a. I think this is the season where Bert becomes more of a side character. This I really don't know why this is all these are rated so low. Um, I think that season 10 is definitely an upgrade over season 9. Would I put it? Where would I put it? Would I put it at? Huh. I think this is so. I feel like we're starting to get ramp back up to like, they're starting to set up the ending, and I think it's pretty effective. I don't know if most of these were rated when they first came out, because I think this is a good season, and I feel like I want to put it. I know this is weird, how low it is, but I think I want to put it as A under season 5. All right, season 11. Let's see. There's a 7. Oh boy. There is a lot of 7s. Oh, there's another 6.8. Oh my goodness. Wow. Is there nothing over 8? Oh, there's one. Okay. Okay, so 6.8. The Athenaeum allocation. Leonard jumps through hoops to help secure the perfect wedding venue for Sheldon and Amy. Also, Bernadette and Wallowitz have a hard time deciding who should stay at home with the kids and who should go back to work. Well, I don't know why this is rated so low. This is a good episode. Again, this is another good episode. Uh, this is so, and we're also seeing some where Howard and Bernadette are trying to are both kind of feeling guilty because Howard wants to stay home with the babies. Bernadette wants to go back to work, so they're both feeling guilty because that's not the traditional gender roles. So we don't really see that much all the time of Bernadette and Howard's relationship, and it's nice to see they're having a crisis and working through it. So I think this is important for their relationship. I don't know why it's weird that's rated so low. And then Kripke takes the location at the university where they like the fancy room that they want to have the wedding at. So Leonard has to do all this extra stuff for Kripke. And there's kind of a bunch of funny bits about that. So I mean, I don't not the worst episode of the series, or not a 6 point. I would put it higher than 6.8. And then the highest rated one is the bow tie asymmetry. So this is basically Sheldon and Amy's wedding. When Amy's parents and Sheldon's family arrive, everybody's focused on making sure all wedding arrangements go according to plan, everyone except the bride and groom. So this is where they discover, quote unquote, super asymmetry during their wedding. And we meet and also where we meet Sheldon and Amy's parents. I mean, we have technically seen Amy's mom before, but now she's Kathy Bates. This is a good another. I'm surprised everything is rated so low. That seems odd. This is a lot of good stuff, and I feel like we're again ramping up to getting to being better. I'm gonna put this above 10. So and I feel like after the first couple, I think people were just rating all this stuff at the time, because if you look back, I understand season 9 wasn't good, but season 10 and 11 were good. I don't get it. Okay, let's look at very last now final season. There's another 6.8. And the 6.9. Weird. Alright, and then obviously Okay. The planetarium collision is the 6.8. Amy doesn't have time to work with Sheldon on super asymmetry, so he goes to great lengths to ensure she's available. Cooter probably doesn't want Walwitz to join him hosting a show at the planetarium. Again, I don't. This is one of the more memorable episodes. I don't know why it's the lowest rated of the final season, though. I mean, it might be the weeks in the final season, but I don't want to rate it as 6.8. Where this is the episode where Sheldon basically gets Amy fired from her job so she can work on super asymmetry. And I mean, a lot of good jokes there about, and they've says like the guy they've replaced her stepped down. They say to him like why he's in the room with them. It's a lot of good jokes. And at first, Rod doesn't want Howard being part of his planetarium presentation, afraid he's going to steal thunder, and then it just turns into them just like hugging it out and Leonard crying. Well, it's a funny moment, and it's a funny moment, and I think it also there's also important to advance both Sheldon and Amy's relationship and Howard and Rod's relationship. So I wouldn't put it at 6.8. And then obviously the highest rated one is the series finale. Not Stockholm Syndrome. Bernadette and Wolowitz leave their kids for the first time. Penny and Leonard try to keep a secret. Sheldon and Amy stick together, and Cooper Polly makes a new friend as the gang travels together into an uncharted future. So this is the episode. This is where they won the Nobel Prize. Sheldon and Amy won the Nobel Prize for super asymmetry, and they all end up going to Stockholm to see them get it, and Sheldon kind of annoys everybody along the way. The way he like doesn't care about Howard and Bernadette feeling separation anxiety from their kids. The way he doesn't care that Leonard and Penny got pregnant, and then everyone says they're gonna go, but then they're still excited for Sheldon, so they end up staying, and then Sheldon has a nice speech about how meaningful his friends are to his life, and honestly, it's a very good. It's one of the better series finales. It's a nice wrap up of the whole series, and at the very last, and there's showing a little bit of it's showing some character growth from the characters at the very last episode. So, I would say, A. I think a lot of it based on I would say season 12 is an A based on the and almost I might put it right as above season 8 as the second best season based almost entirely on the almost entirely on the series finale because it's so good compared to some other series finales. There is like the second to last one is also good, and then Leonard's sort of reconciliation with his mom is also a really nice, touching moment. And that's like the third. So there's a lot. I think they did a lot to wrap up the series in season 12 nicely, and not unrealistically, but nice movement for the characters. I think some of the criticisms of like after probably the last 3 or 4 seasons is they started to rely a lot on guest stars, and that seemed to be, which is I guess understandable, but it started. I think you could Val Chris and be like that started to be more of the joke, but I don't really I agree with that. I think that even when they had guest stars like Billy Bob Thornton and James Earl Jones, there were jokes. There was more jokes than this is Billy Bob Thornton playing a weirdo, or James Earl Jones is like even more of a geeking out over stuff than Sheldon. So I think that was that was the joke rather. It wasn't just James Earl Jones is like the jokes weren't just like this person is here. There was jokes related to the actual celebrities that they got. So I think it was. So I understand the criticism, but I don't really agree with it. Anyway, so this is my ranking of every season of The Big Bang Theory. Now that I've watched them all, so season 6, like I said, every single episode's a banger, hilarious. I think definitely my favorite season. Season 8, very good. Probably people rated higher if it wasn't for Penny's haircut. Season 12, just a great ending for the series. Season 5, I think, was really where we started started to kind of all the characters gel. Season 11, nice setup for the end of the series, and then season 10 really started laying the ground track for the tracks for the end of the series. And then the rest of I'm not gonna go over the rest of them. Um, I've watched this entire series twice, and some episodes more than once, more than twice. Yeah, it's just a generally funny series. I like, and it's not like cool to like it or whatever, but it's a funny series. I enjoy it. It's something if you're having a bad day, it's nice to just watch this for a little bit. Okay, anyway, that is my tier list of every season of The Big Bang Theory. So there you go. I don't know if I'm ever gonna do a tier list like this again, but since I just watched it all, I thought I would. So until next time, everybody, take it easy.